The man pushed a body that had been dead for 3 days into the hospital. But the doctors didn't even perform an examination. They sent it straight to the operating room. They didn't care whether the patient was alive or dead. The hospital only cared about whether the family had money. The assistant then informed the man that the patient needed immediate surgery and asked him to pay a fee of 500,000. The man pretended to be anxious and immediately paid the fee. Just when the doctors thought they were about to make a big profit, they unknowingly fell into the man's trap. Inside the operating room, the doctors and nurses were chatting to kill time. 2 hours later, the doctor came out to speak with the man, saying the patient had suffered a brain hemorrhage during surgery. They now needed to invite an expert to assist with the treatment, which would cost another 300,000. The man, seeing this, didn't refuse and said he would pay whatever it took to save the patient. So, he went to the counter again and paid the 300,000. Once the payment was made, the expert arrived at the operating room. However, as soon as he entered, he noticed the smell of the decaying body. The assistant, however, reassured him, saying the man seemed very filial and wealthy, so they could take advantage of the opportunity to make more money. The nurses pretended to be busy in and out of the operating room, acting like they were working on the surgery. But the man quickly saw through their scheme. Soon after, the doctor came out and told the man that the patient had passed away. The man feigned sorrow and begged the doctor to help once more. But the assistant immediately changed his attitude, stating that the patient was already dead and couldn't be saved. At that moment, the man pulled out the patient's death certificate. After the doctor read it, he panicked because the certificate showed that the patient had already been dead when they were brought to the hospital. Yet, the doctors had pretended to be attempting to resuscitate the body for more than 10 hours. The assistant, realizing the scheme had been exposed, grabbed the death certificate and tried to destroy it by shoving it into his mouth. But the man remained calm and then took out another death certificate. He began to threaten them, demanding a refund for the medical expenses and 500 million in compensation. He warned that if they didn't comply, he would expose all the evidence to the media. This made the doctors panic, and they quickly reported the situation to the hospital director. The director immediately arranged a meeting with the man to discuss compensation, planning to use the opportunity to eliminate him. However, he didn't expect the man's martial arts skills to be so formidable. The man easily defeated the hitmen the director had hired. In the end, the director had no choice but to agree to refund the medical expenses and pay the 500 million compensation. But the man wasn't going to let the hospital off so easily. After receiving the compensation, he handed the evidence over to the media, causing an uproar. All the victims' families gathered at the hospital to protest, and even the director's car was surrounded by them. Furious, the director drew a gun and began threatening everyone to leave. But this only enraged the crowd further. They surrounded the director and beat him relentlessly. In the chaos, the gun accidentally discharged, and the director was tragically killed in front of everyone.